Your dog is staring at you right now. That look, head tilted, eyes locked on your food, patient in a way that feels almost calculated. You'll probably give in. But the real reason you can't say no goes back 40,000 years. And it's far stranger than loyalty. Because dogs were never tamed. Not the way you think. The truth is almost the opposite of everything you were taught in school. No human walked into a forest and captured a wolf pup. No one sat by a fire training it to sit and stay. The wolves came first. They chose you. Picture a hunting camp tens of thousands of years ago. Fires burning, bones and scraps scattered at the edges of the light. The night was full of eyes at the tree line, watching every movement around the flames. Wolves lived nearby, watching from a distance. Most kept away out of fear, but a few didn't run. Boldest ones crept closer, night after night, drawn by the easiest meal they'd ever find: human garbage. What decided which wolves survived long enough to keep coming back? And here's where it gets strange. Boldness alone wasn't enough. A wolf too aggressive got speared. A wolf too skittish starved before it got close. Only one kind survived near the fire, calm enough to stay, friendly enough not to threaten, curious enough to keep coming back. Generation after generation, that one trait won. Not strength, not speed, friendliness. That single decision reshaped an entire species and eventually changed yours too. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitry Belyaev decided to test that idea directly. He took wild silver foxes, animals just as skittish and dangerous as any wolf, and bred only the calmest individuals together, generation after generation. He wasn't selecting for floppy ears, he wasn't selecting for curly tails, just friendliness. Within a few generations, something nobody expected started happening. The fox's ears began to droop, their tails curled upward. Patches of white fur appeared on their coats, out of nowhere. Nobody bred for any of that. It arrived on its own, hitching a ride alongside tameness. It turns out calmness and cuteness share the same biological switch. Select for one, and the other follows quietly behind it. That exact switch is still flipped in every dog you've ever met. So what does a fox's tail have to do with your dog's face? Decades later, a researcher at Duke University named Brian Hare ran a different kind of test. He pointed at one of two cups, hiding a treat under the other, and watched what happened. Chimpanzees, the animal closest to you on the family tree, mostly ignored the gesture. Wolves, even ones raised by hand from birth, struggled with it too. Dogs got it almost instantly. They didn't need to be smarter. They needed a completely different skill: reading you. Somewhere in that campfire selection process, thousands of years before agriculture, or writing, or wheels, dogs evolved a talent almost no other animal shares this precisely: the ability to understand what a human means, just by watching you.
And it goes deeper than behavior. In 2019, researchers at the University of Portsmouth, led by Julianne Kaminsky, found something hiding in dogs' faces that wolves simply don't have. A small muscle around the inner eyebrow, capable of raising it just enough to widen the eyes and soften the whole expression. Scientists gave it a nickname: the puppy dog eyes muscle. Wolves don't have it. Not because they never needed it, but because nothing selected for it. 10,000 years of living alongside wolves versus tens of thousands of years of dogs being chosen again and again by whichever human found them impossible to say no to. That tiny muscle exists for one reason: it works on you. It triggers the exact same response you have to a human infant's face, and dogs are the only species on Earth that evolved it aimed directly at your eyes. That eye contact does something physical too. It raises oxytocin in both of you,
The same bonding hormone triggered when a parent locks eyes with a newborn. Today, there are more than 300 recognized dog breeds. A Chihuahua barely resembles a wolf at all. Neither does a Great Dane. Body size changed completely. Coat color changed. Even skull shape changed. But the one trait that started all of it back at that first fire never changed. Every single breed, from the smallest lapdog to the largest guard dog, still carries that same core instinct. Stay close to a human. Read their face. Make yourself impossible to send away. So when your dog stares at you across the dinner table, that's not obedience training talking. That's 40,000 years of a wolf's descendants perfecting one single skill, reading exactly what will get them fed. Every tilt of the head, every soft whine. That's the same strategy that got their ancestors close enough to a Paleolithic fire to survive the winter, passed down unchanged. Every dog sleeping at the foot of a bed tonight is a descendant of that same gamble. They didn't adapt to serve you. They adapted to read you. And it worked so well that you started calling them family. So really, who domesticated who? Tell me your dog hasn't trained you better than you ever trained it. Because right now, while you finish watching this, your dog is still staring at you, head tilted, patient, waiting. And somewhere back across 40,000 years, that was exactly the plan.